JBN, we keep you informed. Man killed over Akis. A dispute that allegedly developed between two males while picking Akis in Tripoli in Runaway Bay Center on Friday has resulted in one being killed while the other teenager is on the run. The deceased has been identified as 20-year-old Okar Campbell. Allegations are that about 6:45 a.m. Campbell and a 17-year-old boy were picking Akis at a premises when a dispute developed between them. Amid the altercation, a knife was allegedly used by the teen to stab Campbell. The teen then fled the scene of the incident. The wounded man was assisted to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Police investigators have since launched a search to locate the teenager for questioning. 3 guns seized within the last 48 hours, including in Maypen Cemetery. Members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF continue to press along with their Get the Guns campaign, with the latest report being the seizure of 3 guns and several rounds of ammunition during 3 separate incidents across the island over the last 48 hours. One such incident was a near midnight search of a section of the Maypen Cemetery in West Kingston. The first incident occurred when a 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 5 9mm cartridges was seized by the police in Rockford, St. Andrew on Saturday, November 9. Reports from the Elliston Road Police are that about 7:55 p.m., law enforcers conducted an operation in the area during which a man was seen acting in a manner that aroused their suspicion. He was accosted and searched, and the gun with the ammunition was allegedly taken from his waistband. He was subsequently taken into custody. His identity has been withheld, pending further investigations by the police. Hours later, during an operation at the Maypen Cemetery in West Kingston, a 9mm pistol was seized. Reports are that about 12:30 a.m., the cemetery was searched and the gun was found. No one was arrested in connection with that seizure. And in another operation, detectives assigned to the Sandy Bay Police Station in Hanover seized a gun in Montpelier in the parish on Sunday, November 10. Reports from the Sandy Bay Police are that about 6:30 a.m., an operation was conducted in the Montpelier community, during which a house was searched and a .38 revolver was recovered. A man was arrested in connection with the find. His identity has been withheld, pending further investigation by the police. Woman in divorce racket fined $6 million. A St. James woman who pleaded guilty to providing fake documents to persons in a divorce racket in Western Jamaica was fined $6 million Jamaican dollars when she appeared in the Home Circuit Court on Friday. Sandra Brown was fined $4 million or 3 years in prison for 1 count of forgery and $2 million or 2 years imprisonment for 1 count of obtaining money by false pretense. If the fines are not paid, she will serve 3 years in prison. Brown was offered bail by Justice Shelley Williams and given 6 months to pay the fines. Police seek assistance to identify body found in Portmore. The police are yet to identify the body of a man that was found on the Dyke Road in Portmore, St. Catherine on Saturday, November 2. According to the police, the body is of dark complexion and was clad in a cream long-sleeve shirt and blue jeans. It is reported that passers-by stumbled upon the body in bushes and alerted lawmen. The police said the body was in a state of decomposition when they arrived. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue for post-mortem. Anyone with information that can assist in identifying the body has been asked to contact the Portmore Criminal Investigations Branch at 876-989-0623, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Cop allegedly held with Ganja, freed of related charges. A policeman was arrested for possession of Ganja after the drug was allegedly found in his car along the Palisades Main Road in Eastern Kingston 4 years ago has been freed in court. Constable Robert Roach had the charges against him dismissed when he appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday. He had been charged with possession of Ganja, dealing in Ganja, taking steps to export Ganja, and trafficking in Ganja. The allegations were that Roach was arrested on June 6, 2015 in the vicinity of the Norman Manley International Airport after a search of his vehicle revealed a portion of compressed Ganja which weighed 44 pounds. At his trial, the police officer's attorney challenged the prosecution's case, arguing that the witnesses called were not able to say where the ganja was being kept prior to it being taken to the government lab. Additionally, the defense stated that the investigator, who had been identified as the person who submitted the ganja for testing, did not give testimony in that regard at the trial. The presiding parish judge, after hearing the submissions, dismissed the case against Constable Roach. Sentan woman gets 4-year sentence for fatally stabbing hubby. A Sentan woman who pleaded guilty to manslaughter last month in relation to the stabbing death of her common-law husband in Mami Bay in the parish has been sentenced to 4 years imprisonment. Erica Beamer, who was initially charged with murder in relation to the death of 39-year-old David Folks of Greenwich Acres in the parish, learned her fate on Friday in the St. Anne Circuit Court. It was stated at the sentencing hearing that Beamer was involved in an abusive relationship with Folks. "I will say it is not easy to punish somebody in circumstances like this," commented presiding High Court Judge Justice Martin Gale before handing down the sentence. Reports had stated that on August 24, 2015, at about 2 a.m., Folks and Beamer had a dispute at their home in Greenwich Acres. During the altercation, she reportedly stabbed him. He was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Beamer then fled the scene, but turned herself into the St. James Police 2 days later. She was subsequently handed over to the St. Anne Police and was charged with murder. No new loans from China, says PM. Jamaica will not be accepting any new loans from China, Prime Minister Andrew Holness disclosed today. The Government of Jamaica, in keeping with its firm commitment to reduce debt rapidly, would not negotiate any new loan programs with our Chinese partners, stated a section of an official statement released today by Jamaica House on the Prime Minister's official visit to China, which ended yesterday. Holness in the statement said that cooperation with the Chinese on major infrastructure would continue. However, he said those infrastructure projects will therefore take the modalities of joint venture partnerships, public-private partnerships, or private sector transactions directly between Jamaican firms and Chinese firms as a normal course of business. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark in January said loans from the Chinese accounted for 3.9% of Jamaica's total loan portfolio, based on Jamaica's debt stock of about $2 trillion. Loans from the Chinese would amount to about $78 billion. The Prime Minister said Jamaica's partnership with China going forward will focus on economic zones, logistics, agriculture, water and sewage, affordable housing, and urban development. Under the new cooperation framework, investments will be more strategic and focus on the development of special economic zones and logistic hubs, urban center development, water and sewage, agriculture, and affordable housing, the statement said. Holness insisted that there remained strategic areas for further investments by China in Jamaica. These areas were strategic for investments because they could be pursued on an open, profitable commercial basis within fiscal initiatives allowed by the law and without government necessarily incurring more debt or having to take an equity stake, he said. He also noted that the areas were strategic because they aligned with the government's objectives of stimulating growth, creating jobs, and building resilience in Jamaica's economy. Elderly man killed, 2 others injured in St. Anne crash. An elderly man is dead, and 2 others injured following a motor vehicle crash on the Retirement Main Road in Brownstown, St. Anne on Thursday. The deceased has been identified as 83-year-old Clifford Lawrence. It's reported that about 5 p.m. a motorist had a seizure and lost control of his vehicle. The vehicle hit Mr. Lawrence and another man. Mr. Lawrence later died. The injured man and the driver are in stable condition in hospital. Jamaica on high alert for a more severe form of dengue. Concern has been raised that Jamaica could record increased cases of a severe form of dengue fever. Shereen Huntley-Jones, director of the National Vector Control Program, is warning that persons who have had dengue are more susceptible to the more severe type of the mosquito-borne virus, and said because our population at large has been exposed to more than one type, going forward we are going to see an increase in the number of persons who are going to be hospitalized, and unfortunately they may end up dying. She said that more persons with dengue are being hospitalized and that there has already been an increase in dengue-related deaths. In a recent update, the Ministry of Health said that more than 5 1,400 cases of dengue had been reported in Jamaica so far this year. Auntie Jones said some persons took too long to seek medical attention. She is therefore urging those who experience dengue-like symptoms to immediately seek medical attention. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.